is happening, Magnus sites? So, the women have clapped back at the men now. Which means, you know, the men gonna have another list.
Oh,
but
boy.
This list, is chock full of stuff.
It looks petty. It looks
and this
petty.
list is the ladies strike back. A new list of the men that have no business dating. Okay.
Oh boy.
Number 1. Men with toddlers or younger.
Well, yeah, like if you just had a baby 3 weeks ago, you ain't got no business dating nobody.
Well, I would have a little caveat to that. I would think that it's okay if y'all ain't together.
See? And the question is, when you just had a baby 3 weeks ago, what is your history with your baby mama? Because clearly, is it your baby mama? Is it your girlfriend? Is it your wife? Does she know what her position is in your life?
Because I'm thinking, like, say it's a guy that does have everything in check, but things just didn't work out. Like, say, for example, say he got her pregnant, everything was going well, and she cheated on him a couple months in. He's done with her. But the baby's coming, and he's going to be a good father. He's going to be in the life of the child.
And that should be your only priority, is to take care, because the toddlers and younger need their parents there more than any time.
I know they require a lot, but I think that you could still have another woman.
As long as the woman knows it ain't going to be nothing serious, because if you get serious with her, then that means that she's going to require a lot of time that you won't be able to give her.
That doesn't mean that's not true. Every woman's different.
I'm talking about the fact that you got a new baby. Like, if it says toddlers or younger. Like, if you just had a baby 3 weeks ago. And y'all...
But toddlers can walk, so that's what? 2, 3, whatever? Something like that?
3 and under?
Yeah.
2 and under?
Yeah,
One
sometimes, it's over by then. You might have a real, but I know what they're saying.
Because a lot comes with that, and I see
but there's
why.
a lot of situations where it's just like, look, you know what I mean?
Nah.
Yo, she had sex with my brother. Yo, you know what I mean? Like, I'm done with her. It's gone.
But it's the baby.
But I can't date another woman while also taking care of my child. I think that's possible. That's my personal
I'm not
view,
saying it's not possible. But see, somebody like me, I would want you to be there 100% for your baby. So you ain't got no...
I can be there 100%. Because I still got a job and other stuff. I mean,
especially if you dating a chick.
But if things ain't real good too, there's gonna be visitation. There's gonna be
that's the whole mess that comes with having a baby 3 weeks ago. Y'all still trying to figure it out.
Stop focusing on 3 weeks ago. How about we do toddler? They ain't walking.
Are you kidding? Then you got the terrible twos.
All right, number 2. Men that live with their mama. I saw the other day with that psychologist that's doing her thing. She seems to be becoming more and more popular. She's Middle Eastern looking. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, what is her name?
Yeah, Sadia
or something like that. Yeah.
The guy show that she was on, I think he had said something like, one of the most common living arrangement for men over 35 or something like that is living with their parents. Now, I know that there are certain situations out there. However, I think that at 35 or more, you should have your own place.
Yeah.
I do.
Yep.
I do believe that.
Yep.
So, hey, ladies, I personally would suggest take each predicament as it is. Hear his story for why he's with him. If it makes sense to you, okay. If it don't, okay. Because I do know some 35-year-olds that ain't ish. And that's why they live with their parents.
Me too. And that's why I said they live with their mama. Do their mama live with them? Because if she's disabled and she needs help and she can't care for herself and she lives with him, that's a different story. But if you're just home living with your mama and you're not trying to go nowhere, you need to have your own place.
Yeah, because I know that if my mom had lived and trust me, she'd be living with me. She'd be well taken care of because,
And I have so much respect for a man who takes care of his mother and, his family, so.
Number 3, men that live with their baby mama.
Hell no. That's a no for me.
So.
That's a no for me.
I've seen certain situations that I thought were interesting. And there are men that live with their baby mama and they'll tell you, well, we ain't together, but we living there and we taking care of the kids. I've heard the stories. The majority of the time, ladies, you are going to have to leave that alone. Don't do it. Sometimes he's double dipping, literally.
Yep.
Most of the time, he's double dipping.
Yeah.
However, I have met some people to where they're living with their wives and they're separated but living together, kind of like the whole Will and Jada thing. They're separated but living together, where they literally have separate lives. And it's legit. They don't touch each other. They continue to raise the kids. The kids are like in high school and they don't touch each other.
And that kind of goes
touch that if you want. But that's really the safer route to go if you're going to date a man that lives with a woman.
And that goes into the whole, we just together for the sake of the kid. And some people throw that out there as an excuse. Mm-hmm. Like, we're just there for the kid. Listen, it's just an awkward situation for you to be dating with a man who is still living with the baby mama. Yeah. And this isn't... And it doesn't have to come from a insecure place, but it's more so, it's just a very awkward situation. Like, what if I want to go see you? What if I want to go spend time with you? What if I want to go cook for you? Your baby mom's in the other room with your kid. Like, that is just a real uncomfortable situation. He got to come to you more than the majority of the time. And not only that, but what if, let's just say the guy has no intention to deal with her or anything like that. That don't mean that she on the same page. Yeah. She can have ill intentions on her end just because she's bitter. Like, it's just a messy situation. I would say.
She sound like dude talking in the 40-year-old virgin. What if he got boys on the outside? Remember that part? He was like, what the heck? What are you talking about?
It's just messy.
Men on the DL. No. DL men. If you don't know what that means, that's down low. If you don't know what that means, hiding their bisexuality or if they're gay. So, I mean, if you're looking for a straight man and he's down low, that's not what you want. So, yes, I would tell you not to. Men that don't have a valid driver's license. She like dudes that drive Nissan Altimas.
Nah.
So she into that though.
Don't try to jab it because I used to drive a Nissan Altima and my license was straight. Okay, has been since I was 16. Paid ahead of time. My insurance was good.
Registration
intact. Never caught a ticket and nothing. Ever since I was 16 and got my license. I
would say that, like, I'm thinking about being, like I'm like putting myself in that big brother or father position and stuff. I'm like, if he ain't and he's still driving around, no.
Right. Like, why don't you have a driver's license? A valid driver's license? And if it's suspended and you're still driving around, that's another thing too. But like, why don't you have a valid driver's license?
And because that means he don't handle a lot of things in his life. He lets that go, then it's definitely a big possibility he doesn't have a lot of other things to check.
Right, your priorities are so not in the right place.
Men that bank with Cash App.
First of all, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, there's people that when you talk to them, especially when you're buying something, you'll see them places buying something. Y'all got Cash App? Or you'll be like, like he'll ask you to borrow some money. Yo, Cash App it to me. Cash
okay.
App has had this whole hood vibe to it. It's been bad, even though Venmo is similar and all that other stuff. Trust me, when Cash App first started going around, all the hood 304s on Instagram had their Cash App listed and everything else. Now a lot of businesses actually do have it.
I would say it's a quick way to
got
pay
a stigma.
for stuff.
Yeah,
But
that is stigma.
Don't be relying on just Cash App.
Men that sag their pants.
No.
There
it ain't cute. I don't like it. It's not attractive. It doesn't catch my eye.
That's right.
Pull your pants up.
And it's even worse now, fellas. Listen,
it's even worse now.
It's even worse now because
go look up where that came
jeans
from and what it means.
Skinny jeans are in. And before, we used to have long shirts and everything to cover the sag. Now it's not. It's just dudes walking around with their butt out in their drawers. We don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to see that. There's a very minority share of women and a large share of gay men that want to see that. So, hey, I mean, depends on what you're advertising for. You got what I'm saying?
Cup of tea.
So, knowing that the majority of women do not like that, So, and another thing is, like I said, look at where it came from. If that's what you're representing, keep representing. But if you're not, let's see here. Men that don't take care of their kids. That's right. Because if they don't take care of their kids, if they have kids with you, they might not take care of them.
Exactly.
That's right. And they might not take care of a bunch of other things. Your children's your own blood.
Yeah.
He might throw you to the side. He might, there's some real grimy dudes out there.
Yeah.
I know a girl whose dude stole her identity, ran up all this stuff on her credit, and it was crazy. Mm-hmm. And by the way, he was doing dirt already, which I didn't know. I found this out. She was living with him. He did dirt, and she stayed with him. To me, that's stupidity. Let me see. Men that disrespect women.
Absolutely no.
Right. And of course not.
And of course not. Why would you?
Right. If they're very disrespectful of women.
And it's both men and women. Don't put yourself in a position to be with anybody who disrespects you. Yeah. Period. Because if they disrespect women, that means the moment you get on their nerves, you might just be done, ladies. Men that don't own a suit. Depends on what he does. I don't know if that would be like a thing for me to not date, but it's something that I would take note of. Because if you own a suit, to me, for a guy, for a man, you're trying to get serious about yourself. You're trying to, whether you have a suit to go on a job interview for, or whether you are trying to look, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you're trying to just make sure that you're staying on top of yourself, being mature. You got guys who are in their 50s still rocking jerseys, Timbs, and jeans. Ain't nothing wrong with that if that's your style. You know what I mean? But I think it's a good note to take when a man owns a suit. So I like a man in a suit.
The reason why it is important is for job interviews and for funerals and other functions
very
like that.
Important
They'll tell you should have a black, blue, and a gray suit. Now, look, if you don't just have one, just have a black suit that you can wear everywhere. But I'll tell you, to job interviews, a lot of job interviews will accept you in shirt and tie. You don't have to be in a suit, but some, depending on what you're going for, will. Now, if you're a blue collar guy, you've always been a blue collar guy all your life and all this other stuff, and I get it. It's like you might even be, say, like maybe construction or a plumber, and you've always got, but still, even they get invited to formal things. To me, if a daughter of mine told me that he doesn't own a suit, my eyebrows might raise. But to me, it's not a total nah. But I get why the women are saying it. I get it. You know what I mean? Men that live in motels. Well, I lived in a motel for a little bit. After my mom passed away, me and my brother We lived a couple of different places, and it just wasn't working out. And I had to get a motel to take care of this. And this particular, if I told you the whole situation, you'd be like, oh, well, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some dudes, it's just they're bums.
Yeah.
And
like
that's
you a
why.
Bum and
that's
you just,
why. They can't hold down a job or a place to live. They
Yeah.
keep getting evicted. That's different.
a problem. That's a whole red flag.
That's different. So that is a red flag. When I find out, if I were to find out a woman lives at a motel, I'm like, well, what do you live in a motel for?
Right.
Like, what you do for a living? Men that want to hold a couple of dollars till they get paid. Women are looking at you to be the leader, the provider, especially traditional women. So, listen, yes, sometimes there might be an issue, especially if y'all both, different environments. Sometimes you both struggling. Hey, if he's asked for money and always paid it back when he says he will, okay. But then there's another thing. There's
what are you
a
doing
lot
with
of
your
men
money?
that have a lot of pride and want to truly be a man. They don't ask they want money.
Right.
There's
and
no
I've
way
always
we do
grown
that.
up like that, like hearing different guys and having a lot of guy friends. Like they've always said, like, "Yo, dude should never ask a woman for money." That's one thing.
Right.
That
Listen, the only way that should come down to it, I mean, there has to be an extreme emergency.
Yeah. Like, did you lose your job or did something happen to your house? Like, I'm okay with that if you're paying me back when you say you're going to pay me back, as long as you still have a job and you're not just asking for money, just because. Yeah. But I would want to know, like, if you always want to hold a couple of dollars until you get paid, what are you doing with your money that you can't, that you always have to come to me? Like, that would kind of raise an eyebrow to me. Like, okay, well, maybe you're not, let's sit down, let's figure out why you're always coming up short. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Man, you got to learn to be good with your money.
Yeah.
Because we are traditionally the providers, and women do look
You have to be leaders.
Period. Like, naturally, they look at us to lead and provide. So you got to be good with your money.
And that can make us kind of like not, I wouldn't say not trust, but if you're constantly coming to us,
it's true. They won't trust you or respect you, and they might resent you.
Asking us for a couple of dollars, it's almost like, okay, well, how am I supposed to trust you leading us if you can't hold your role as a man and, be good with your money? You're supposed to cover us. So what's going on here? That kind of taints us a little bit because it worries us a little bit,
I had a woman lend me money before, but I remember she knew a situation that I was in. I was offered something, and I needed a particular amount of money to get from A to B and back. And she immediately offered. She was like, I know you got this. I believe in you on this, and I got you. And I paid her back. I thanked her for it, and the man inside of me didn't even like that she offered. Didn't even like that she offered. So, I don't like.
But that's a little different.
It is. I like to give little explanations.
Yeah. See, and something like
different
that.
Situation. Yeah, different situation. So, men's clothes who are in tubs. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
What the hell does that mean? Who keeps their clothes in tubs?
Yeah, you got me with that one, ladies. I don't know what that means.
I don't know if they just hold all of their clothes there and none of them are hung up or folded or in the drawers. Maybe that's what's wrong with you. You know what I mean? Like, organize yourself, you bastard. Men that can't log into anything without help. Oh yeah, because you just seems you seem helpless. You seem helpless and stupid when you can't do that. And like I said, women look at you like you can't even log into nothing. I can't even ask you. Then I know I ain't gonna ask you to hang a picture or take the trash out.
Right.
Like that. It makes you look weak. You can't even log into something. Like what? Yeah. It's like you're not. You have to be at least basically tech savvy in the life that the modern world that we're living in.
Yeah,
it's like
everything is like technology.
Yeah, unless you just came from a third world country where people will look at you funny. Like, I know guys like this. It's like, why can't you log into nothing?
And if that's an issue, learn.
Yeah.
Let us see you trying to learn. Show us that you're putting in an effort to learn.
Yeah. Closer and toes. They don't log anything without help. Without help. That's the funniest part about it. Men that gotta tell their mama everything. Yeah, your mama shouldn't be in all your business.
Yeah. There's a line.
Yeah.
That you just don't cross.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. My mom was my best friend. And I told her a lot of stuff. But trust me, I didn't tell her everything. Especially a lot that had to do with me and the women that I was dating.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. That's what that is. Your mom is going to be in our business. And if you a punk sent for your mom, she's going to be running your relationship.
Yep.
You won't
she
be.
She is going to be in your ear and ruin your relationship.
And let me tell you something. I was a mama's boy, but not a mama's boy. You get what I'm saying? She didn't have no say in what I was doing. Mm-hmm. What's the next one? Men that work in the FedEx hub. What? By the way, a lot of people have been saying that these lists are kind of like the clapback from the men was tongue in cheek. That this one's tongue in cheek. We having fun with this, but these are real lists. I've heard a lot of or similar stuff to this. The FedEx hub, though, what is that?
Is that like
the warehouse?
The warehouse?
That's hilarious.
I mean,
guess they don't like warehouse workers.
Do you want your man to have a job? Because I mean, well.
What is the FedEx hub? I need to know what it is.
Warehouse. I think it's the warehouse.
FedEx hub. Okay, yeah, all the shipping centers. And you don't like, but look, there's a lot of men that work warehouse.
Well, look, what if that's his part-time job and his full-time job is a six-figure deal?
It don't even matter. I got a boy that ran a warehouse.
The man has a job. He could easily just say, screw this FedEx job and not get a job. But listen, if the man is really trying, if he ain't got no kids, and he's really trying, and he's trying to make something out of himself, and maybe he has to start from the bottom just like everybody else. You can't just start from the top, you know, and if he's trying and he is succeeding at that FedEx hub, you better let that man be successful, because he could go from that to manager, to VP, to president, to director, to district manager. Like, if that's what he enjoys and that's what he likes and that's where he wants to work, as long as that's not the end all be all for what he wants to do, as long as he's got future goals. Like, you don't want to just be at a FedEx hub and just stay there. If that's all that you can do, and you have a skill there and you are good at it, I don't see anything wrong with that. The man has a job.
Sometimes that's all they can do.
Yeah, that's all. And if that's what they can do and that's what they're good at, then let them perfect what they're good at.
Because most of the people live an average life. So if most people are living an average life, they have average pay, they have average salaries and stuff like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But, you know, if you're a woman that wants more, okay, well, you're going to shoot higher, but don't look down on men that have warehouse jobs, because there's a lot of good men that have warehouse jobs.
That's not okay.
Men that work at a temp service. Now, I used to work at temp service, and I can tell you, when I was working at temp service, I did not have my life in check. However, one thing you have to look at, temp services employ men sometimes that have been laid off or have lost their jobs for other reasons. So it's like, boom, the business, you know, things that may have gone out of business. Mm-hmm. So you need work. Work's hard to find. Sometimes you're just looking for a job. You can't find one. So temp services will send you to this warehouse or send you to this business one week or whatever, and you constantly getting in a check. So, it's kind of along those lines, what she said about the warehouse. Mm-hmm. Look at it case by case.
Yeah.
However, yes, with even me and my boys at the time that worked for the temp service, we ain't have our lives in check. We didn't.
Like, if you're only doing that because you're being lazy and you don't want to be at a job for too long, that's one thing. But I personally have worked at a placement agency where I was seeing resumes coming in from CEOs that used to make six figures, working at Fortune 500 companies, who were taking temp jobs, and this was in the early 2000s, who were taking anything that they can get because these men have families, they've got a wife and kids and a house, and like you said, you got to do it by case basis, because this man that's working at this temp service could have just had gotten laid off from a 6-figure job.
Yeah, look at it like this. Remember in Batman? When Batman figured it out in 1989, why everybody was laughing and dying because of the Joker's Smilex. It was a combination of things that killed you. So it was, makeup, perfume, mixed with deodorant would kill you, but makeup won't do it alone. It's like this. If he's got a toddler, if he living with his mama, and he's at a temp service, and he don't own a soup, and he banks with okay, start putting it together.
Right.
That this might be a bad situation. But if everything else is in check, and it's like, but he's got a temp job, that's not a bad thing.
Because some people use temp jobs when they're trying to find their way. And a lot of these temp jobs, if they like you and they like your work, they'll keep you permanently.
That's true. And I got a long-term job from a temp service. I did. And all the guys at the job liked me. They pushed for me, and I got the full-time job. Mm-hmm. So, truck drivers.
The only bad thing that I don't know.
That's why I let her answer first.
It's time. But that's just me. I don't know why other women have an issue with truck drivers. There's probably I know people who have talked about truck drivers who are on the road. They stop somewhere. They do what they do with other women. They keep it moving.
I told you.
You know what I mean?
I told you.
But truck drivers are sometimes on the road, sometimes for months or weeks on end. You don't know what's going on the road. And then if you're a caring woman, in the back of your mind, you're always going to be stressed out because he's driving. Is he eating right? Is he sleeping right? Is he behind the wheel and he's sleepy? Like, you're always going to have this worry and this concern. And I don't know, that's just me. But if you're like driving like the Amazon truck, I mean, that's okay. But you driving from here to Cali.
Where you really going? Talking about you got to make a run to Georgia. Who you think I am?
What do you think?
Miss Goofy? So, yeah, there's plenty of guys that have local trucking jobs. Like if you Amazon and you just going from an area, or you drive for Pepsi or Coca or Frito-Lays or something, it's different. Take it case by case, ladies. But if you're clingy, need a lot of hugs. Time. You like to be up under your man's butt cheeks.
Ask him. I don't ask for money. I don't need my nails done. I don't need.
Oh, she wants some hugs, food, and one other thing.
Because you are giving someone something you can never get back. You can never get back. Stop it.
Them grand rising men. Who is that? Is that religion?
It's those spiritual grand rising. They don't say good morning. They say grand rising.
I've never heard that before. Is that a Christian thing or?
It could be a Christian thing. It could also be like one of them, like, you get you like a deep man, like a man who's like deep.
He's too
emotionally. Hey, grand rising, baby.
Listen.
Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. Because people, there's a saying out there that people, there's a thing out there where people don't like saying good morning because you're waking up and why are you mourning? It shouldn't be good morning. It should be grand rising. That's what I've heard.
Okay. Well, I have a thing for women that are too religious. If I say hello to you, if I say hi, and you say God bless you, God bless you, or God is good, praise the Lord. If you say praise the Lord, and when I say hello, it's an absolute no.
Didn't Kevin Hart say that in one of his things?
He said a few things.
He was like, you pick up the phone, you're like, good morning.
Praise
good
the
morning.
Lord.
Hello, God is good.
He woke me up.
How about
Yeah, all
you? Or
this-
something like
yeah.
that. There's people who are out there like that, but
them. What you doing, man?
Nothing.
Them
Going to
WYD,
sleep.
man.
going to bed.
I tell you this. Let me tell you this. It ain't work out. She get a WYD. A month or two later, she answering.
From you?
Yeah.
Probably. Only you.
She answering.
Ain't nobody else get me like that.
Yeah,
And nobody else got me like that beforehand either.
That's funny though.
But
Those
I
dudes,
know.
yeah, they want
You know
peace,
what? No.
and they in
There
and
are
out.
a couple of guys who I never dated, but they kind of like, this is when I was younger. They'd be like texting like, so what you doing?
They trying to come through.
I'm going to bed. Good night.
Yeah, so they don't want you to be an F boy. Usually that's
Right.
F boy vibes, Men with multiple kids and baby mamas.
Look, I dated one, never again. Never again. Although I will say, thank
Bless
God.
your heart.
Thank God, though, that I got along with the kids' mothers. I've never had any fights with them. I never had any bad blood with them. But I wouldn't. I don't think that I would do it again. It's a lot. It's a lot.
That's usually a very bad sign.
It's a lot.
If he's got multiple, usually it's a very bad sign. And every once in a while you'll find one who actually has multiple, but they finally got their ish together. It's rare though. It's rare. So ladies,
Extremely
that
rare.
one's definitely true.
It's a no for me.
Men that bash women on social media. Now, with that one, I'm definitely saying, yeah, because there's some dudes, listen to me guys, especially in the manosphere, that's all they do. Men and women on both sides do bad things that can destroy a relationship. And I've seen guys that make a lot of money on YouTube only from bashing women. And you can tell it's bashing because the arguments are extremely one-sided, never truly coherent and fair. I know which ones they are, and most of the time it's from angry dudes that you can tell just by looking at them and how they act that they don't get women in the first place.
Yeah.
So cater to the other angry men like you, and that way you can make a lot of money. Y'all notice I'm always fair and balanced as possible as I can be, because I know that both do wrong.
Yeah.
And women cheat, men cheat, all these things. But what do you think about that?
I wouldn't like that.
Because a lot of times they make it sound like all women too. Just like the women that bash men make it sound like it's all of us.
Yeah,
like,
it's
what?
almost like you ain't date every single woman on this planet, so you cannot possibly be speaking about all women.
Mm-hmm.
It's only probably the women that you've encountered, but that doesn't uphold all women, because all women are not alike. Now, when you are bashing, like straight bashing women on social media, that is such a major turnoff to me. Major turnoff. But if you're sitting here having a civilized conversation and you are trying to make points to help a woman understand a man better, that's different. That's not bashing to me in my eyes. If I can learn something from you, and if I can be a better woman for you and be a better woman and pay attention to certain things that you need from me as a woman or as your woman, then I'm all open to it. But bashing women, like, you don't do that.
It's different
you haven't experienced all women.
It's different for a man to post something like, yo, a woman will tell you this, and then be kicking your back in and effing the dude down the street. That's why I keep my moving and this and that. And then there's a guy that will say, some women may do this and that. Fellas, that's why you always got to make sure you pick this type of woman. You see that? This is different. One was bashing, like it's all of them, and one was just like, yo, warning you about some of them out there, but find you this type because this is the best one. There's a difference. What's the next one?
23.
I lost.
Men that have to
load their card to add money to it.
That's a red flag. I'm sorry.
The prepaid card, dude.
I haven't heard a prepaid card since I was in college, I think.
Yo, I still know them. And let me tell you something. It's usually a red flag that you're not good with money.
Yeah.
Most people don't want financial issues, so that's why the women see it as a red flag. I understand that some of you, it's just you're stuck in that rut of a prepaid. You got used to it. Learn to deal other ways, because it does make you look financially. It makes you look like you got a low IQ financially, like you really don't know how to handle money.
Seems like this list has a few things about finances and banking and cards and things like that.
Women hey, we're the providers, so women want us to be on check with that.
Listen,
I get that.
It's important and it's a good, healthy thing to talk about finances, even when you're dating, because if that goes the distance, eventually you're going to probably want to have a shared account for things that you may want in the future, whether it's, sharing, I don't know, dogs, cats, pets, a business, whatever. It's good to have that conversation, because a lot of the times people get real crazy later on in life. And if I don't know if the statistics are still up there, but one of the number one reasons why people get divorced is finances.
It is number one.
So it's healthy to talk about those things.
Because financial problems cause people to be angry, and then they take it out on each other. So. But the whole thing here's the thing too with this list. A lot of these guys on this list, it doesn't mean that they inherently are bad people. Right. It's just that these are red flags. Yeah. Just like there's certain things where you can see a girl covered in tattoos, and men will be like, most of the time, no. Mm-hmm. However, she could literally be Mother Teresa. She just loves tattoos. But it's kind of like that. So everything should still be a case by case for most points. Yeah. But there are some points out there where it's like, no, like it's like if it's you got an OF page, no, I don't care if you saved 1,000 children from a skyscraper that was about to fall. I don't care. You got what I'm saying? But anyway. Let's move on. No, bring it down. Men that bring their locks up, that don't keep their locks up. Oh, yeah, that's a hygiene thing. If you nasty with your hair, you don't wash, you don't do this, you don't do that. It's the same thing, because a lot of see, women already have a thing with dreadlocks. There's a stigma to have a real big thing to where they think you stink or think you're dirty, and we know it's not true. And it's the dudes that don't keep it up that ruin it for you.
Look, I don't have a thing with dreadlocks the way that I used to, but when I tell you, when I used to see a dude with fresh, twisted locks and a nice little shape up, I'm telling you, women look at that stuff. Just like men like for their women to be kept up and trimmed and nails done, makeup done, hair done. If you have long hair on your head, keep it up. Just saying.
Men that hairline is gone, but they keep holding on. Oof. Yeah, I always look. My hairline's receding, and I always told I always told my barbers, and I even told her. I said, if I don't see it, if my hairline is in the middle of my head, tell me, tell me so I can start shaving it off. Yeah. That's my cutoff line. Like, I'm receding now. I don't know what I'm going with next, but if I wear it low, if the hairline is in the middle of my head, I want to name some dudes that I've seen, the famous dudes. This famous black man, very loud and rambunctious with his speech, who is holding on right now. Some dudes actually don't look too bad, even though they hold on. But some, it's like when you see it, it's like, bruh, the thrill is gone. It's over.
And you know what, though? I think now I'm not a man, so I don't know. But I can only assume that just like us, like when a man starts losing his hair.
Oh, that's devastating.
It's a devastating thing. Like for me, I suffer from Hashimoto's and my hair sheds all the time. And it bothers me. So I can only imagine when men start seeing their hairline receding, they don't want to let it go. It's not that they're trying to hold on, but there's something emotionally attaching when it comes. Like if your edges was was disappearing, girl, you would have a whole conniption.
Yeah.
And you would not want that to be shown. But ain't nobody going to tell us, shave your edges off. Like, it's not like that. But there can be a mental and emotional thing that comes
it's part
with
of our identity
a man
and who we
holding
are.
on to that because it's the getting older. It's the, oh my gosh, what's happening? I'm losing my hair.
Yeah.
It's that.
Especially if it's essential to how good you look.
Yeah.
Then it's like if you look better bald, you don't care. But if you look better with hair, you're gonna care. It'd be like it's not as essential, but like say your fingers, and say when you got older, some guys their hands started to disappear. That's like your fingers went down to here. Some people's like, just cut it off, man. No, I can't. It's my hand. That's how it feels, man. Men that always talk about what they used to have. Oh yeah. It's like they talk about it, but they don't be about it. It's I used to do this, I used to do that, and it's.
Why don't you have it now?
Yeah.
That would be my question.
To them, and to women, it's gonna look like you
can't.
You've given up.
Yeah.
You've given up. You always got some damn story like Al Bundy about the 4 touchdowns.
Like, oh, man,
but he gave up on life.
Yeah.
So keep succeeding, keep conquering, keep making your goal. Married men.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Do not date do not.
Absolutely.
Do not date a married man. Period. Next.
Unless they got a relationship. Oh! Unless it's a relationship, then it's okay.
Not nice. Not nice.
Men without transportation.
That kind of. Why doesn't he have transport? Did he just get into a car accident?
That's different. If you're in a big city and where everybody takes cabs in public, that's fine.
If you are in New York City and you don't drive, that wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me.
However.
But you should still try to get your own transportation. I mean, because I'm not always going to want to catch an Uber everywhere. I'm not always going to want to spend money. You're going to have to spend that money.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that doesn't have a car. I have a car.
The whole thing is.
But you should, I feel like a man should have his own transportation. Yeah.
Ladies like to go places. They like you to lead. They like you to be the driver, the provider. She likes me driving and taking her places. She loves it. She loves just getting in the car and driving with me. It's like one of her pastimes. So
it is.
See,
I'm a simple girl. It's not, and it's not. You drive me everywhere because I have my own car.
It shows your independence and responsibility.
Yeah.
And financial responsibility. It's a bunch of things.
And that says a lot about
Does it
a
mean
leader.
he's a bad man? No.
No, it doesn't mean that he's a bad man.
They want someone that can.
Yeah, because if you're a leader, that goes along with leadership. I am, giving you the space to lead me. Take me to where I gotta go. Open the doors. Take us to this place or that place. Take care of us. Support. It's all leadership. It's all leadership. If you don't have transportation and you're relying on other, like, are you trying to get some transportation?
Yeah, some women are so dumb about it. They're so
like, oh, he ain't got no car. I'm not doing it. Like, no, wait a minute now.
Desperate.
What if he just came back from the dealership?
He's the one sitting in the passenger side. Every once in a while, I've been a couple places with her where I'm so tired.
And
I don't want to
drive.
And she'll drive and I'll go and I still feel like that dude with his seat all the way back. I feel like that because every once in a while, see, in my time growing up, and you still see it, sometimes like black men, certain young black men would use white girls with cars. They had a little bit of change. They could get stuff out of them, sneakers, clothes. A lot of times they would be overweight. I'm not talking about thick, overweight. And I never wanted to be that guy. And they would do it to other races too. But when I think about it, I think about with her, even though she's not white, she's Puerto Rican. She's well, so that means she's European. She's Taino native, and she's also African. Okay, trust me, she's African.
Hey.
But anyway, so I don't want to be that black dude sitting in the white girl's passenger side. See what I'm saying?
And it's it doesn't matter how tired he is. There's been so many times where I'm like, baby, I know how tired you are. Please just let me drive. Let me take us to where we gotta go. Nah, I'm good. I know you're not good, but it's the man in him. It's the leader in him. Like, nah, I got this. Yeah. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, I know some people. It brings up kind of like the argument of appearances. And certain things truly can make you look a certain way. And even though it's good to an extent, to not care what people say or think. Because sometimes what people are saying and thinking about you and to you really can help you in life. However, there are a lot of instances where it's like, get your life together, bro. Because this looks bad. But anyway. You ever see the whole video where they're either at an event or a wedding or something, and it's like a white couple, and the woman turns around and starts twerking, and he snatches her up. Like, that's an appearances thing. It's like, come on, man. Don't be out here looking like these kids or these Instagram 304s twerking. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? I better not ever catch no film of her twerking.
And you never will. I only twerk for him at home behind closed doors. That's it. And even then, it's not a long twerk. It's like a half a minute.
Oh, God.
And the last one?
That's it. Oh, men that are Cowboys fans. That one has to be a dig and a joke. That one absolutely has to be.
That's hilarious.
But I don't know. Maybe Cowboys fans is crazy. I don't know.
Who knows?
So, Scarlo is still streaming Miles Morales. Go over there and check her out.
Yeah.
I'm streaming Alan Wake 2. And also, I'm going to try to start Lords of the Fallen. I had a problem with my streams yesterday. I don't know. Everything just kept dropping. So I don't know if it's... Sometimes it's glitches with the PS5 game. And sometimes it's my internet. But especially when the games are new. But anyway... Get over there and follow her. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all thought. If you enjoy our reaction and thoughts on this list, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Woo!